Hello. Hi. Welcome to New Comic Book Day Book Club, episode 12, Captain Marvel #1.
You nailed that.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting it, only took 3 months. My name is Alec, also known as White Whale Comics. And to my right or left, depending on how you're looking, I've got my cohort, John's Comics with Kids.
What's up, people? I'm here with my ladies, my lovely ladies.
And our esteemed guest this week, no stranger to Captain Marvel, is Mr. Tony Sanders.
What up, guys? I'm back. I had to have a drink for this one because I got some stuff to say.
Yeah, bro.
And before we get too going, Tony Sanders, he and I have been talking a lot about Sentry. I got into New Avengers, and I was talking to him about this book because it looked like a really good, affordable key that's like a solid key to get. And he and I went back and forth on like where to get this book, what's the best thing to do. And dude just up and sends me one right off of my wish list 2019. So big thanks to you, Tony. That is crazy, crazy kind of you, man. And it's, again, like I was telling him beforehand, it's a great read. Like, it's a really, really entertaining story.
Yeah, if you haven't read Century 1, y'all need to get that. It's awesome. And you deserve it, John, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
Before we get to the grim funeral that we're about to talk about, I want to start off with some shout outs. I got issues off the jump first in the chat. Kachoom, Wingnut.
He's a true first now.
Yeah, yeah. I got issues.
You're a true first now.
Comic Books NYC, TJ Watson, as always, in the chat. Old Wolf 65, hello. Thanatos, John's Comics with Kids, I know that guy. Reggie Simmons, Decaf Raven, DS Comics, Necro God Comics, Mr. Gorell, Bake the Snake, Jeffrey Comic Con Henson, Boy Who Had 7.
Reggie collects.
Darwin Gomez. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining. I appreciate all of you.
And hey, Reggie, good job on your live stream, your CGC live stream today, Reggie. That was awesome, dude.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that.
I got issues already in there with the jokes. Tony, I hope you have to say, this was a terrible choice. I apologize. This was the worst decision made since Thanatos put Hawkman in his starting lineup.
It's okay because I got issues. It's all right because he's gonna have to go up in the hunt.
Well, he's got a lot of things coming up because he and Hulknuts are trying to get their live streams up and going. So we're gonna start getting these guys.
Oh wow!
Giving them their own. They'll get their own heckle squads here soon.
Oh, I can't wait. Let them get their channels up because I'll be just trolling the heck out of them. But I love them guys. They're hilarious, though. They make the show interesting.
So yeah, this book was a dumpster fire.
All right. The only thing that my main complaint about this whole thing.
What's your main complaint? Let's get that out of the way.
Like it's a knockoff Terry Dodson, man. Come on, man. Like, if you were gonna get somebody to do this book, get somebody to do it differently and not subpar. I'm sorry, man. The artwork in here is atrocious.
That was far from my main complaint, but John, you have anything to say before
man. Yeah, I mean, I will say I am a Carol Danvers fan. I know that a lot of people are frustrated by repurposing characters. I have recently gotten the chance to finally read the actual classic Jim Starlin Death of Captain Marvel story, which is incredible.
Awesome.
And Tony, it is dope. And so for me, I was never bothered by the Carol Danvers repurposing because in my opinion, they perfectly ended the original Captain Marvel. So why not pass that mantle on? You never want to bring him back and reinvent. No, leave that story where it is. Yeah. And I was never bothered by giving her the mantle. She is a perfect replacement for the mantle. And as you can see here, I've enjoyed a lot of the stories done with this character. Sadly, as the saying goes, I met Mr. Kennedy, and you are no Mr. Kennedy. I've read good Captain Marvel, and this is no good Captain Marvel. In fact, I would even argue that this Life of Captain Marvel storyline that just wrapped up not too long ago
Was
is a
better.
far superior
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Donato says, glad I bought the 1 in 100 sad face balls. Yeah, man, you're not gonna regret that. That cover is still gorgeous. You're not ever gonna open it. So
the covers are what you're buying right there. I'm telling you right now.
This Amanda Conner can do so much better than this. This is it started off bad from the front.
So yeah, it was just like to me, like I said, the inside art. Now the only thing that intrigued me about this whole book was the end part, and I don't know if you want to just spoil it because I mean it's already.
No, I mean let's build to it. I was bothered right off the bat by this page where they felt like they needed to like sell her.
Yeah, and I'm like, why? We already know,
Fighter, soldier, pilot, captain, hero, leader, warrior, icon. It's like, come on. This seems like a bad commercial that Tony Stark would make to get her to be joining the Avengers.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a commercial for the movie, so
yeah.
That's the bummer of it. They're selling a movie and not a good comic.
Then like another complaint, like they were just like there were references to Beetlejuice, the Babadook. If you've never seen Babadook, it's a horror movie that was made in like a foreign country, but I watched it like one time with my kids and he was scared for like a week about it. But yeah, they make references to that and about Tony Stark, and it's like okay, you didn't really need to throw that in there. We already know, Tony Stark's annoying and like, some people don't like him. So why refer to him, with pop culture phrases, just run with it.
This is for Comics NYC. Yeah, I agree that Die issue 2 is incredible, and I hope everybody picked one up. My comic book shop sold out of both covers. Yeah, so hopefully you guys snagged a Die issue 2 because that is
I couldn't even get it. It was sold out.
So yeah, I usually say this to the end, but my pick of the week is Criminal #1. Yeah, so but boy, is this going to be fun to talk about. So
it's funny because in film school I always felt like the best movies that we chatted about in film school were always the ones that people had strong feelings for. So I don't know that this is going to be necessarily a bad issue. Episode, I should say. I did think that there were not very many moments that worked for me. I felt like even the splash title page was like way over the top. Yeah. This fight sequence was like typical. It wasn't like terribly original. This whole page, this double splash page thing here. I like Jessica Drew, the Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
I think the banter was pretty weak through this section. The villain monster creature thing made no sense to me.
Yeah, there was no explanation like where
it came swallows from. A little girl and then she flies through the monster and blasts out of its head carrying the little girl. The little girl doesn't get hurt.
There's no explanation on where the monster came from. It's just like, oh, hey, it's here and we're gonna fight it. We're gonna take it to the water. It swallows the little girl. Man, I gotta keep drinking.
Having said all that, though, I think those first few pages were probably the best ones in the book.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It was like it started off as good as it was ever going to get.
Yeah.
And I liked Jessica Drew, and I always liked Drew with Carol Danvers. They have a great rapport. I've always liked Jessica Drew when she shows up, even in Spider-Gwen. I always feel like Jessica Drew is an interesting character who is underutilized, and it's nice to see her in there. But the banter wasn't even like par for those characters.
So can I?
Don't get me to these pages yet, Alec. Don't you dare. These 4 to 8 pages in this book are the absolute reason why this book is horrible. And don't you start on your exposition. We're not there yet. You hold off.
Okay. All right, I'll put this down. Go ahead.
Bad Alec. Bad Alec.
I want to give a shout out to some more people who joined the chat. Economics and Comics, Comic Tom 101, Poor Man's Comics says, I heard Criminal is good. You heard correct.
I heard Prodigy was good too. Bill said Economics and Comics said Prodigy is good. I got to get that.
Mark Spector, Sin Potter, Instagram. If I've missed anyone, Discovery Bay Comics, Cassie, Madonia. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining the Love Fest.
when she blasts out of the head of the animal, if you look closely, the little girl is just clinging to her.
Oh, the funniest part in that though was like, did you see the dog puking in the back? No, that was hilarious.
Yeah, the dog puking. Yeah, I saw it.
Oh,
Carol's arms are out wide, and she blasts through holding the little girl. How does the little girl not just get absolutely crushed by the outer elements of the creature that are rubbing against? The whole thing is just
That's your biggest problem?
That is not my biggest problem. We're not to my. I've told you to wait on my biggest problem.
But I meant like
I know exposition and yeah, but so this whole sequence with like the random guy giving her a free New York City T-shirt for some reason, as if they needed to explain to us that they're in New York City with a T-shirt in some reason, and then of course all the Tony Starks show up, all the like droids. I mean, it leads into Alex's favorite part of the book. So I'm gonna sit here and drink, and Alex's gonna talk.
Yeah,
so I was actually before I was so rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
Not even bring up the exposition because I think by now we know that that's so offensive. I was gonna bring up my second favorite thing.
Okay, go.
How many times can you cross the line in 2 pages? So
I don't know, but they're gonna push it.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times the characters switch sides, and then oh wait, we're not done because we're gonna do it on this page too. It's like the artist forgot how to set a scene, and then this panel, they're like chatting and flirty, and then all of a sudden she's on her phone, but we don't see her take her phone, and he's like talking about her being on her phone. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
this page where it's like it starts outside, and then it like we're below table level, then we're way above table level, then we're like in her face, then we're behind him.
And here's my.
It's like a camera flying all over the place.
My least favorite 2 panels before I get to my biggest problem with the book is here, where he's like making jokes and talking, and then down here he's just like screaming in terror. It's like there's really nothing in between,
because he was like at the one panel he was so sure, he was like, oh, she does that a lot, and and then like next thing he's like, yeah, you said he's screaming, and I'm like,
he says, well, do me a favor and stay down out of sight, I'm gonna call in some help, right after he said, oh yeah, that's a thing she can do, she's very fancy, and then Tony Stark, we need help. Ah!
Yeah. But the force-fed interaction between her and Rhodes, man, it was just like, oh my god. It was like, dude.
It was like 9 pages of exposition leading to a really awkward lunch date with Rhodey. And I got to ask you, Tony, because I'm fairly certain you're up on your Avengers and what's going on currently with Avengers. How long has it been since Rhodey was alive again? Like how many months of issues or whatever?
It's been like a while. It was like a while because like they were like, because she was like, oh, I was in space and I knew you were alive, but I didn't want to talk to you because it was kind of awkward. And he was like, oh yeah, I knew you were in space, but I didn't want to talk to you because it was kind of awkward because I was dead. And
this feels like writers explaining why other bad writers didn't solve this problem earlier in other comic books.
True says, how many times did they have to mention space? Yeah, you have to be reminded a lot of times.
Yes.
Well, and me, as somebody who goes character and story first, is like, I know enough about James Rhodes and Carol Danvers to know that if she found out he was still alive, I don't care if she's working outer space, she's going to come back.
Yeah.
So to have it seem totally normal for her to have waited months before even making contact with him, and then to throw in like 7 ham-handed excuses why these two didn't make communication in that time.
And then like it was like, okay, it's like, okay, now we can be together now. It's like,
yeah. And then they want to jump right back in as if they were always in love, but they've spent 3 months not making contact after he was dead and then apparently alive again.
Yeah. And then like at one point she even said like, oh, I figured just to leave it dead like you were. Basically, that's what she basically said. And then like he was like, no, I see a reason to live and like we should get together. And it was like crazy, man. I was like, oh my God.
This is for Bake the Snake. Yes, Bake the Snake. This is the only other books I bought this week with Die 2, Batman 62, and Dumpster Fire 1.
There's a lot of Squirrel Girl love in the chat right now.
Honestly, my joke to Alec beforehand was I would probably rather read the rest of this current Ghost Spider run than any more issues of this.
I picked up Young Justice, and it was better than this.
Dumpster fire #1. People like that joke. Nailed it.
And I'm not bashing. I love Carol Danvers. I love Captain Marvel. But whoever was behind this dumpster fire, whoever was behind this, literally is ruining the character before the movie even drops. So,
and I feel like Tony mentioned like the potential of the last panel, and for me, the last panel was the last nail in the coffin for me, because the last panel is everything Ryan and I have talked about being frustrated with Marvel lately, which is like, hey, let's just take a character and reinvent them all over again on the last page of every book.
Yeah.
Again. And it was like, yeah, it might be interesting to know about this alternate story for Carol Danvers, but it's like, can't we just tell a good Carol Danvers story?
Yeah,
like, why do we have to like send her in an alternate future and then reinvent her again? Because here's a Carol Danvers one, and here's a Carol Danvers one, and here's a Carol Danvers one, and here's a Carol Danvers one. Like, how many do we need to reinvent here? And I like this character.
Me too, man.
I want to talk about my biggest problem. Nuclear Man.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So first of all, my first problem is in the second panel right here, where he says, Nuclear Man, he might be an old Fantastic Four foe called Machismo. Why would you make that leap?
Say that?
So,
yeah.
But here is my bigger problem with that. I think that it was disgustingly heavy-handed and unhelpful in addressing this hyper masculinity and misogyny that they're trying to poke fun at, which are issues. Like, you could have done it so much better than to just have a guy who literally embodies those problems.
They even referred to him as a Russian pimp, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
They made a joke out of it instead of actually making a story out of the fact that maybe you could have shown a powerful woman addressing some of these issues. Instead, it's just, oh, I'm a walking penis. And
he literally kidnaps a chick and just takes off with her. And I'm like, really? I'm like, oh, man, come on.
I thought it was so lazy and so heavy-handed and just a disservice to the I don't know. It really pissed me off.
Yeah, to the character, to the idea. So many layers of that.
To the lineage of Captain Marvel, they just like crapped on the whole, like, I don't know, like I have a complaint about the costume, but this man, this character right here, he stood for something. And when he died of cancer, like, and they got passed on to Carol Danvers in the Avenging Spider-Man 9, like, that was the hope in it. And then it's like, then you give me this. What is this? Like, come on, man.
Hulknut says, so why was it picked for book club night? Because sometimes you gotta polish a turd to find some gems. I don't know, man.
For real, man.
I want to throw some love out because there's somebody in the chat that's been doing some real great community work, and that's Discovery Bay Comics. Every auction I've been in, this guy's doing super chats. This guy is participating. He's getting involved. And recently, he's been doing something that we've all been saying needs to be done, that somebody should figure out a way to really do this, which is to do a daily like movie guide or TV guide for you.
Yeah, he's my TV guide.
And let you know shows that are going to be on and what times they're going to be on. Discovery Bay, thank you so much for all the cool things that you are doing. Comic Tom has been joking for so long that this is something that needs doing. And to see finally somebody, figuring out a cool way to do it and make it their own. Guys, sub up Discovery Bay. He's right there in the chat, and he's just an awesome guy. His girls are really cute and fun, and they do fun things on their channel. But beyond that, he's in everybody's chat doing really cool things. So sub him up.
For sure. I'm done talking about this book. If you guys
now back to shit.
I got nothing more to say about this.
Oh man, like I don't even know if I can talk about it anymore. It was like one of my favorite characters, and it's just like I don't know. It was just like
Well, it made me rethink.
I'm literally like looking at the advertisements in here. Like this was more interesting to me because I was like, oh, I wonder what this book is about, and this book is about, and I'm like reading the book that I'm supposed to be reading, but I'm like, I want to know what this is about.
Tony, I'm so glad that you feel this way because I was so worried that you'd be the one like loving this book.
No, it's pretty good.
Like, I'd be having to like worry about pissing you off or something. I'm so glad.
I just want to show this gorgeous page from Criminal to kind of as a palate cleanser. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Anyway.
Go read Young Justice.
I was planning on trying to like flip some of my Captain Marvel books when this movie's coming along. But if this is a sign of how bad the Captain Marvel movie could be, like I'm starting to worry about being able to flip my books. Although I have more faith in the MCU,
the MCU
than I do in Marvel Comics in some ways.
Yeah, the MCU will be fine. It's just this book is just like Alec quoted it right, dumpster fire, and I'm sorry. Like y'all all know, Captain Marvel is my. I don't want to cuss on here, but that's my stuff. And for me to be like, I'm off the bandwagon with this book. I'm sorry. This is not. I'm not riding with this.
No.
This is not. I'm not buying two. And Alec, you already know I bought all kinds of. I pulled a Thanatos. And I bought all.
You went all in before you.
I went all in like Thanatos, and I got all kinds of different covers. And now
I love how we all have like our own verbs. Like you can be Watson, you can be Thanatos.
So I know everyone's waiting on the edge of their seat. Are you gonna keep this on your pull list?
Me?
I'm gonna try to see if I can go back to my shop and exchange it. Do they have a swap? I don't know if they got a Yankee swap.
No, I'm not keeping this on my pool list. This is like I will avoid this like the plague until they give me something that is like I will take a movie adaptation if it's better than this. Because I don't know, man. It was just bad. I was just like, and like I don't know. I was just like, you see, I'm drinking. I'm sorry.
Pour one out for your girl.
I'm telling you, because it's like bad.
So. How are you guys?
On a plus note, I did feel like Die issue 2 was really great, and I'm enjoying Tom King's Batman run. There was some good stuff that did come out this week.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard about a little book called Criminal No. 1.
Who's the writer on this? Actually, honestly, I don't know anything about it, and I kind of skipped over it. I'm sorry I did.
Who's the publisher?
It is published by Image currently. It's been back and forth between a few publishers for the different runs. It's Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Here is the first omnibus of the first series.
Is that Harvey Keitel?
Yeah, pretty much. If you read anything by Brubaker and Phillips, it's great. It's just like noir-y, pulpy, just like really good crime stories.
Oh, Kachung got his point right. He said that it took for the monster to be dead for Thor, Iron Man, and Cap to show up or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that, and then the fact that they all got one-shotted by some dude named Nuclear Man. Like, Cap is not going to get one-shotted by a dude named Nuclear Man. I'm sorry.
Economics and comics, you're wrong. Criminal is not good. It was Siak.
He also threw out Bone Parish, which I've really enjoyed. Bone Parish. Yeah. And I could see that being a wicked show on like FX or something. That Bone Parish is legit great.
I got to read The Prodigy because like he keeps preaching about this, and it's like,
what is Prodigy, Tony?
He said it's something about like this dude is like super smart or something like that, and he's like, I was watching this video earlier about it, and I was like, I missed the first episode, like the first like issue of it. I didn't get the first issue, but I was watching Bill, and he was talking about, he showed like a part of it, like a review of it basically, and he was talking about how the guy is like trying to stop some kind of alien invasion, and he's kind of like the Taskmaster. That's what he said. He was like kind of like the Taskmaster, and he could like see something and do it real quick. And I was like, oh well, that's got me sold right there, And then like an alien invasion, okay, that sounds good too. And then like then there was like a part in the book where he showed where like there was like these rich people. I don't know if they were like, but they were hunting kids and they had like a room full of kids with their heads like, you know, sewed up.
Like horror. It's like horror too.
Yeah, like a trophy room with kids' heads like in this room. And I was like, what? So Bill, I'm gonna have to get it, man. So
I tried Gideon Falls. Everybody told me Gideon Falls was great, and I was like, I didn't click with that one. I don't know what was wrong with me.
Yeah, but
like in general.
Yeah, I got the director's cut version of Gideon Falls, and then issue 2. So I read the first 2, and I didn't care for it.
I'm a really big Jeff Lemire fan, and I haven't read the whole run, but it's not one of my favorites of his. I think he's done.
And I will admit, like
I got it. You said Gideon Falls is phenomenal.
Yeah, and a lot of people told me it was like the indie book of the year that they loved. Although it's Image, I know we had that discussion about what is indie, but like that it was this non-superhero book of the year. And I'm not a horror fan. I will straight up say that it's not. I just usually don't go to that genre. I saw way too much of it in film school and in film festivals, like crappy horror movies. I've seen a million, and I don't care anymore. Like the whole genre is really, I feel like it's like 90% garbage, and occasionally you find something good buried in the dreck, but it's like, so I wasn't impressed by it, but I only got 2 issues in. I just maybe it's just me and my issues with horror.
So should we talk about our debate topic for the week?
Yeah, let's do. I think that might be a lot more interesting for folks.
Yeah.
You want to explain it? Who do you want to do it?
I guess I'll try. We just decided right before we went live, so I think it's who is, do you think, the best or your favorite character who either took up a mantle of someone or who took on a new persona?
Yeah, we're looking at reinvention here. So what character was that character was reinvented, meaning like Carol, obviously through several phases here.
Yeah.
Or someone who took over a mantle for somebody else, right?
Like Kamala Khan took over for Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel.
I'm sure Tony's ready, but I was going to beat him to the punch. I'm going with Laura Kinney, X-23, as the all-new Wolverine. That's my pick. Having read through that first run of all-new Wolverine that Big Will sent to my girls, it's funny, it's violent, it's cool. Like, she was a legit replacement for Wolverine for me, because Wolverine got really stale at several times in his runs. And to see her take it on, I will happily pick Laura Kinney. And of course, it has nothing to do with Thanatos shouting me out and that crazy, insane, unbelievable gift that he sent to me. I am legit saying that all-new Wolverine run with her is excellent.
I just want to quickly shout out Daymares in the chat. He just sent me a copy of Harbinger 1.
Oh wow!
It doesn't have a coupon, which is fine because it's a free Harbinger 1. But he was very, very kind to send me it, and basically said, no Valiant fan should be without this, even if it doesn't have a coupon. So it's much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm his second subscriber now because of that.
Oh, look at that, paying off in dividends.
I like to shout out to, I think it's, I don't want to mispronounce it, but it's a boy. Speedball to Penance. I'm a Speedball fan. I love New Warriors. I got New Warriors #1 signed by Stan Lee, and Speedball to Penance. It was good, and I appreciated the story. But back to what John was talking about, the Laura Kinney thing. To me, like Wolverine, like he's more of a like some people will get mad at me, but I'm just saying like Wolverine to me is more like a group character. Like when he's in a group and he gets to cut loose, I love it. But when he's by himself and it's like they got to build a story around him, it gets kind of boring sometimes. And
I had that conversation with Ryan a lot because he's not a big Wolverine fan, and he pointed that fact out to me. And I grew up loving Wolverine, but it made me question a lot of my favorite Wolverine stories because most of them are ones when he's a part of the X-Men and there's a bigger story going on, but he's playing this pivotal side role. Like the Marauders Massacre storyline is one of my all-time favorite storylines, and Wolverine's got this great saber-tooth kind of back and forth battle thing going on. but it's a small piece in a bigger story. And there's very few Frank Miller stories with Wolverine that are good enough to handle him as a lead. Whereas that Laura Kinney All New Wolverine is sick. It's good.
Now, my pick, I'm not going to dump on Carol Danvers because I'm going to say I'll still go with Carol Danvers taking over the mantle for Captain Marvel. And I mean, it's like a lot of weight on your shoulders. And it's like, you know, to me, Captain Marvel, like, and when I say Captain Marvel, people, I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this guy here. This guy here, like the white and the green, it don't mean nothing to me. But I'm talking about Captain Marvel that's got the iconic costume that Carol Danvers kind of represents. That dude that died from cancer, that dude that put it down with not Thanatos, but Thanos. That dude that threw down with him before the Silver Surfer, before Infinity Gauntlet. That guy, to her to pick up that mantle, I'll always show respect to her. But this dumpster fire that they shoved down our throat today is not what the money is printed on. Sorry, I'm sorry.
And I definitely thought of picking that one, but I knew that you would pick her. And I respect that decision. And we talked at the beginning about how, that death of Captain Marvel, is an iconic story, and much respect to that Jim Starlin story, which I finally got around to reading the whole of, and it ended an incredible character's storyline. And then to take that time off before finally coming around to giving that character a new title, a new name, or giving that name, I should say, a new face. That's a huge reinvention, and one that, in my opinion, is worthy of her. She is worthy of that title. I agree completely with that choice, Tony.
I was not prepared.
We're the ones that are drinking, not you.
That's true. I'm gonna go with Barbara Gordon as Oracle. I thought she was really interesting as that character myself. I know everyone loves her as Batgirl, and obviously she is great as Batgirl, but
I agree with that, because to go what she went through and to still help Batman out, even though like the stuff that he had done made the Joker, and then for the Joker to do what he did to her, and for her to still back up Batman, I understand what you're talking about.
Donato says Doug to Quail Man for those 90s kids. Mr. Gorell says Alfred is Batman. What about Commissioner Gordon as Batman?
The other thing, Alec, I don't want to skip over your choice because it was a great one, is that
that's all I got.
What I like about it is that it pays homage to a great story like The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
It doesn't erase The Killing Joke. In fact, it makes a statement out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't say like, oh, she learned to walk a few weeks later and now she's Batgirl again, like 10 issues after that.
Yeah.
It takes something that is significant and makes it lasting, makes the impact of that lasting. And I think that's part of the beauty of that reinvention. I can't believe I didn't think of it. So that's an absolutely great one.
It is.
Thanks. A lot of people early on when we brought it up said Cosmic Ghost Rider, which, yeah, I love Cosmic Ghost Rider. I think Frank Castle as
and
Ghost
Comics
Rider.
NYC throws out Jane Foster as Thor, and I know that there was a lot of garbage thrown at Jane Foster for Thor because another reinvention or whatever. And I think what I always liked about the story is Thor is not really like the name as much as the title. His name is Odin's son, and they go through a lot of that in those books, that Jason Aaron run, where he owns the fact that he's Odin's son and that anyone can be Thor. You get the power of Thor when you hold the hammer if you're worthy of it. I loved that Jason Aaron, Jane Foster.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
And Dauterman, I think, is a hugely underrated artist. I know he does digital art. A lot of his work is done through the computer. I am blown away by his stuff, and I'm really looking forward to his War of the Realms, which he's going to be doing here in the early spring.
Now, hold on a second. I got a bone to pick with somebody in the chat. Tim Potter, you're a great artist. I love you, bro. You're one of the best artists I've ever seen, and you ride with Bill. And anybody rides with Bill.
Oh, I saw what it was.
You got my back. I got Bill's back, and I got your back too, Sim Potter. But I got an argument and a bone to pick with you. Nobody likes Sam Alexander. If you ain't down with Dick Ryder, get up out of here. Dick Ryder's the man.
Tony likes Dick. You know that. You know that.
Everyone loves a Dick Ryder.
I saw that he.
John already knew.
Oh my God. I saw that he had talked about Nova, and I was like, "Oh damn, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it." But I will also say, Sin Potter. He just sent me a. I was in on. We're all dying. I went in on that auction that Bill did, Economics and Comics, and I got an X-23 cover, like a blank variant. And Sin Potter did a Laura Kinney all-new Wolverine cover on it for me, and it's coming in the mail. So I'm going to show that off when it comes. Sin Potter is a sick artist. That guy is amazing.
I'm going to have him do me a Dick Ryder Nova.
Just to make him pay for it.
You gotta be very specific when you say, "Could you draw me a Dick Ryder?" Though. It wouldn't be a White Whale comic show if I didn't throw out two more choices really quickly. Weapon Alpha turning into Vindicator.
Yeah, that is a good one.
And Jubilee to Vampire Jubilee.
Now, I will honestly say I don't know anything about that.
No, I did actually recently buy the first appearance of Jubilee. I did actually just buy that.
I got it.
It is a gap. That is a gap in my Uncanny X-Men run. Is that her first appearance? I've got pretty much all of the 200s into 300s, but I'm somehow missing that book in there somewhere.
I just picked it up on Black House Comics DM sale. That's where I picked it up at because he was selling it, and I was like, "Let me get it, man." Because I was like, Alec, he swears
by Jubilee.
Yep.
That jacket.
Oh, I got issues. Says Jubilee's greatest move would be if she became real superhero.
Harsh. I thought we were friends.
Oh.
Moon Knight.
Is that when someone says Deathstroke to Deadpool?
Yeah. Oh, geez. This episode has been off the rails.
Dumpster fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire.
No, I think it was fun. I think it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a great time.
Honestly, I will go back to what I said about film school days. Like, sometimes even the worst movies can make an absolutely phenomenal discussion, and this has been a lot of fun. I will say, top to bottom. And Tony, it's always fun having Tony and hanging out with Tony, whether I'm going on the hunt or whether he's coming on here. We knew we wanted at the beginning. Tony was supposed to be one of our very first guests. But timing was really like all messed up, and we knew when we had Uncanny X-Men coming around, we wanted Tony to be on for that. And then when it was like we want to have a second guests, Alec and I were like, who do we want to have on a second time? Bueller substituted for us. We're not going to count him as our second guest. Tony is officially the first one to be scheduled twice to join our show because he has just been somebody awesome in our community that we wanted to have on here 2 times because he's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't agree more, but I just want to say Comic Head 84, you just joined. You just missed the discussion of the book of the year. I know 2019 is still young, but there's nothing's going to take this down.
If you have this in your PC right now, if it's this cover, and if it's not one like the Adam Hughes, or if it's not the Alex Ross, get art of this. And I am a Captain Marvel fan.
This is going to be decoupage collage material in my girl's art room.
This is going to be a what's that Comic Tom does? He puts Torox as
coasters. Yeah,
this is what they need for my house.
TJ Watson coming through with the subtle jokes. I'm still waiting for a Nova crossover and Giant Size Man Thing.
Dick Ryder and Giant Size Man Thing.
Dick Ryder and the Giant Size Man Thing.
I love TJ.
Oh my gosh.
So Wingnut said, yeah, close voting. So speaking of voting, I want to announce our guest for next week. Against possibly our better judgment, we are having we're gonna have I Got Issues on as a guest.
Oh my god.
So we're very much looking forward to that. All joking aside, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And I don't even know if he's going to go full panda or if we're going to expect something different from him. But we got issues. Literally, we have issues now.
Yes. The only problem is that we don't know what book we're going to read. So John and I are split, and I got issues said he wants the chat to be the deciding vote. So it's a very
vote.
Yeah,
you can vote.
Tony, you count the votes too. You count up and see what people pick.
Okay, let's see what we get.
It's a pretty slim week as far as contenders go for this show. So the two we've narrowed it down to is Middle West number 3.
Yes, Middle West. Pick Middle West. Yes.
Well, you're not supposed to say who's who, because then they're just going to vote for the person.
Oh, what? Sorry, what did I ruin that?
Middle West number 3, or we can do Black Hammer number 1 director's cut.
Oh, that's supposed to be good too. Oh, that's hard. Because Middle West is supposed to.
Honestly, there's no bad choices. I think
Donatos voted before I even said my second choice.
I see 1, 2.
I'm going to buy Middle West no matter what, but Black Hammer sounds interesting. So, yes, boy who had 7. This
3 Black Hammer.
Boy who had 7.
Oh, Black Hammer's winning. Black Hammer's winning. That's all I see is Black Hammer. Black Hammer for sure. Black Hammer. I see like 5, 6.
Running away with it.
Black Hammer. Yep, love Black Hammer.
Right in choice. Yeah. What do you got, Decaf?
Mark Spector said Dumpster Fire 1.
Is that coming out next week?
I hope not.
Comic Head 84 makes the comment that 3 issues of Middle West were not a repeat show. We do different things.
Black Hamster.
I see, all right, it looks like Black Hammer is the winner to me, but I don't know.
Black Hammer, that's all I see.
Yeah, Decaf Raven says I haven't even looked. So the only really other number 1s or other things coming out.
No. Don't give them a third choice. Don't give them a third choice.
Don't say
Black Hammer.
Don't say Archie.
Archie 701.
You know what? I would totally say at my LCS, we're in there doing our shopping, and Kate has read 700. She went on the shelf, saw 701, pulled it off, and read it front to back while we were in there today. And she's like, "It was really good, Dad. It was really good. 701 is good."
Hey, I was pulling for Archie for you. I was like, hey.
So if you guys want a review from Kate on Archie 701, she says thumbs up.
Yeah, Invasion number 1 and Black Widow were the only other 2 that I saw, but or Invaders.
It's done. Voting is closed.
Yeah. Right. Black Hammer
Voting is closed. But the truth is I've won because I'm already going to buy Middle West, and now I just get a director's cut of Black Hammer thrown in for free, or for $4.99 or whatever it is.
And that book I think is very good. Spoiler alert. So I think it'll be an enjoyable chat.
That's all I've heard about Black Hammer. It's been praised. And
have you read Black Hammer already? Anybody?
No, I haven't read it.
I have first printing of issue 1, so I don't even have to buy it. Although I don't know what's going to be in the director's cut, so I'll have to at least flip through it.
Well, that's the thing. I'm going to read the director's cut, and for me, it might be like my first time experiencing it. It'd be kind of interesting to be able to at least balance it out. Like you're saying, you've read the original version, so at least we can compare.
No, it's a Dark Horse book, so I don't know compared to, but I feel like a lot of Marvel director's cut books are just like, oh, here's the script in the back, and here's some sketches. It's not usually any additional pages, but.
The Gideon's the Gideon's Falling, the Gideon's Fall that I got was all black and white, and it seemed to have a lot more material in it. I don't know if the original Gideon Falls is black and white, but this one was.
Well, this crap fire, this dumpster fire I got today, it just ruined my whole day.
Just call it kindling. It's kindling.
Yeah. My fireplace is right over here. I'll throw it in there.
Apparently, we're in the minority. Comicbook.com article on Captain Marvel number 1 is review. Captain Marvel number 1 proves Carol Stars has never been brighter, Donatos says.
Really? What?
I don't know. I guess we don't.
What?
They must not talk to any real comic book collectors, then, I guess.
Talk about a shill.
and I am a straight up Captain Marvel fan. So for me to be this way, I don't know, man.
He says he trusts us 1,000 times more than comicbook.com.
Okay,
you should, because I'm just telling you right now, if that's their review, I will never subscribe to this website.
I've never even heard of it for it's such a good URL.
I'm like, man,
wow,
that's just
fake news.
Yep, that's what it is.
Oh my god, holy cow! So okay, Black Hammer director's cut next week. I got issues, and we're on my channel, and I definitely have issues.
Here's the potato.
Man, I can't miss this. All y'all gonna have to drink for that because I got issues, man.
I just want to see if we get I got issues in a panda hat for an hour.
CBSI owns them.
Really?
Are you joking?
He's probably joking. Knowing issues, he's probably making a joke, but it doesn't mean he's wrong.
Oh my god! Please tell me you're joking.
Oh, I see. Comic Book Sunrise. He said CBS owns them, and he says CBS. I get the joke now. Now I'm catching up.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what else to say.
Sasquatch says panda makeup. I joked with him that blackface might be the next level of what he's doing.
I will not be a part of that.
It's not on your channel. You don't get to decide. You just have to show up and suffer.
I will join the chat and promptly depart.
He says he won't be wearing pants.
Joke's on you. I never wear pants for this show.
I live in California. I wear shorts all the time.
Yeah, well, don't rub it in. Okay, I'm gonna call it.
So I just got one thing to say before.
Yeah, please. We want to promote anything?
Tomorrow I got a Great Legend, and I'm doing What's Your Grails. So it's a show I'm doing about a one-on-one discussion about what are your personal grails, your holy grails, and your modern grails. And one of these days I'll get my bro Alec on there and White Whale, and I get to probe his. I think he's got like, what is it, Paradise Fall? What is it?
Stranger in Paradise.
Stranger in Paradise. I know that's one of your favorites. And but I'll get you on there one of these days and find out what all your grails are. But tomorrow it's gonna be a Great Legend and me, and we're discussing grails.
Very cool.
I love that idea for a show. I thought that was really clever, Tony, and having Legend on is like, yeah, I'm totally tuning in for that for sure.
TJ Watson says, "Don't go, please stay." I don't mean, if we got anything to talk about, that's fine.
I mean, like, we could we've burned this dumpster fire, so we can't talk about that. I mean, I don't know what y'all want us to talk about. I mean,
I got the only thing coming up on my
I literally drank this whole bottle while I was sitting here.
Look at you. Look at you.
So that's how bad it was. So,
you're like me when I'm talking Lost with Ryan or something.
NYC says, "Please go, don't stay."
So I got a box in the mail that I'm going to open with my girls on Saturday for Saturday Morning Comics. Fire Guy Ryan, he and I, we were always messing with each other, and he went on eBay and bought a little something he thought he loved when he was a kid that he thought my girls would dig. So he said, open it up on Saturday Morning Comics with the girls. It's not exactly comic size, so it's going to be fun to open this up and see what this is. That's the only thing I for sure have coming up, except that Bueller is guilting me into going back to the old days when I would actually shoot a video, edit a video, and then post a video.
Oh,
I did one of those last week.
Yeah,
I used to do like one a week, and now it's like one every like 6 months.
Yeah, now we got a little bit of success. We just put our feet up and do live chats.
Yeah, that's what my sons were telling me. My sons was like, "You don't even edit any videos anymore, Dad. You just live chat. You do shows." I was like, "What's wrong with that? Where's their heart in it?" I was like, "Oh man, my kids."
I got a job and I got kids. I don't have time for a lot of those other things.
So, hey, John, show your century real quick. Let me see that century one time.
Oh yeah, baby. Didn't I show it earlier? I thought I showed it earlier.
Yeah, you showed it earlier. Well, look, see, we're Century Bros now. See,
now we are. Look at that, baby.
Century Bros.
Oh my god. And again, I will say it's so rare to find a great first appearance that's a good story too, with good artwork. Like, this is a great read. I was like front to cover, like super into it. It was a really good read.
Yeah, I love it.
Sentry is fire. Maybe we can burn this Captain Marvel book with it.
I know. God, it's bad.
I had to get one more in there.
And my LCS, they were burned out of all the other covers. This was all that was left, and they only had like 15 of those left.
The only one that I'm excited to get though is the actual, like, the homage to the Adam Hughes Supergirl, where she's on the asteroid. That's the only book.
I saw that one.
Yeah, I ordered that for DNA. The artist DNA did that one, and I ordered that, and I'm waiting for that to come. And my J. Scott Campbell's, but I'm keeping those for the covers. The story on the inside, man.
You see, the Kings of the Golden State posted he's got a raw and a slabbed of that Supergirl cover.
Yeah, and
that's ridiculous.
He's selling one of them. He's selling the raw one.
Yeah, but he's not posting the price, which means the price is going to be like you painful.
It is it demands the price.
Yeah,
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
Because the only person I ever know that has that besides King of the Golden State is Thanatos.
Somebody's throwing out Bueller. I want to send a lot of love to Bueller.
Man.
There was a passing in his friendship circle, and he's taken a little time this week. If you're wondering where Bueller is, he's taken a little time, and Jeffrey Comic-Con Henson did a great tribute video to Bueller, and you can leave a comment on that post. They're just comments for Bueller, and he comes through and he checks in, and he hits the like button on those. So if you leave a comment on that, it's like a 5-minute video, really short video for Bueller. He's just taken the week off because it's it's a tough time when you lose someone you care about. It's a tough time, and so send some love to Bueller, send some love his way. Because we want to make sure he knows that these things happen. Everybody suffers through these kinds of things. There's no easy way to do it, but that he's got a community that's definitely going to be supporting and waiting for him when he comes back.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. One of the greats.
Yep. Man, this has been a pretty fun show today.
Roller coaster of emotions.
Man, only thing missing is JD.
Oh man,
yeah, I didn't see him in the chat.
I'll go get my wife and we'll make out a little bit and then get this on.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Cover this up and just there you go. JD has a very special unboxing coming this week.
Yes.
So I know TJ is in the chat, so there's a very special unboxing coming this week. So be ready, folks.
Yep.
I got nothing going on until next Wednesday, or nothing planned at least.
You just had the completion of your great race, so there's several cool slabbed book shows on your.
Congrats on that.
That are really cool. His CGC and his CBCS videos are up, so go check them out because the books he got back are just some of my all-time favorites, and yet mine are at like I told it. My joke was I'm at 7.0 level, and Alec is 9.4, and then TJ is 9.8 and a half. Like everybody's got their level.
Yeah. Congrats on that Fantastic Four, man. I seen that on Instagram, and I was like, that is clean. I like that.
I was psyched about getting that back. Thank you, Sin Potter. I've got a couple more art reviews in the works, but I don't know when I'll get around to finishing them. Someday. Really dark today. I gotta get a new lamp.
Oh, and like the haircut too, Alec. Don't think I didn't notice.
Got my ears lowered. All right, we've put off this goodbye long enough. We're almost at an hour.
Oh yeah.
We just Thanatos said goodbye. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually say the words yet, so. It was here. Oh, it's right here. Hold on.
You got to watch the video, Matt. Boy Who Had Seven. You got to watch.
I was going to show it off
the
because no, there it is.
Yeah. I will say, I know that 48 is the like one everybody goes after. I know 50 is the one everybody feels like they're obligated to buy, but they don't really want it because
it's that brown cover. Yeah, that turd brown cover.
39.
This cover blows them both.
Cover that is the nicest. And if you look at that cover, it's got the Kirby floating head. It's got the iconic visuals. The color work is killer. That's the one. Honestly, for me, of the three, that's the one that is the must-have.
That should be a debate. Like you know how they talk about like, all right, like Bishop. His first appearance is on what is it? The X-Men Uncanny X-Men. I forget which one it is, but he's on the cover. Yeah. But they say his actual appearance is in the one before it, and it's like, okay, then you have like Wolverine, and 180, Hulk 180.
I don't know. That stuff it drives me nuts.
And it's like, and then like, but he's on the cover of 181. Same thing with Gambit. He was in the annual, and then like they say he had lines and stuff, and then 266 is the one that everybody wants because he's on the cover, and like.
But then this is the opposite where everyone wants 48.
Yeah, and I was like, I'd rather have that.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't snub my nose at a 48, but like I'm not going to spend the money for that because I probably wouldn't even display that book. So I don't like the cover that much.
So it's just a watcher with his purple sandals?
Yeah, purple. This is display worthy in any grade.
Yeah, because you got Galactus.
Purple sandals. They're right up there with isn't it Iron Fist and his little yellow slippers.
Oh man, the only
all right, say your goodbye, Alec. Get us out of here.
Yeah, we've been going for a while.
All right. Thanks for everyone for stopping by. Thanks, Tony, for joining us. Thanks, John. Yeah, okay. Enjoy your nights, everyone. See y'all next week with I Got Issues and Black Hammer #1. Bye.